It's time for some underrated talkers as the Vikings prepare for the Cowboys. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Lupagus here, rocking it solo. And we're going to talk about some underrated nuggets, underrated tidbits, underrated talkers as the Vikings start to prepare for them pesky Dallas Cowboys who are coming to town this Sunday afternoon in a huge NFC tilt. Before we get in that, be sure to remember this video is brought to you by Lift Bridge Brewing Company. Hit them up, the beautiful facility in Stillwater, or find their delicious brews all over the state of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, the Dakotas. I guarantee you, you're going to find something you like if you keep trying Lift Bridge Brewing Company. All right, let's talk about some underrated talkers that are maybe just not getting enough love, not enough recognition as the Vikings start to prepare for the Dallas Cowboys. Some of these are coming off the Bills' miraculous victory, one that we're all still shaking and cleaning ourselves up from. Let's talk about the first one. Justin Jefferson, our star wide receiver, went over 1,000 yards on the season against the Bills. He now has 1,060 on the year. Again, huge game for him. He had over 190 there against the Bills, making spectacular catch after spectacular catch, and also arguably the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life, doing the OBJ with a guy draped all over him, overpowering the guy with 5 fingers when the other guy had 10 on the ball. So very impressive, Justin Jefferson. The question is now, can he hit the 2K mark? Well, he's averaging 118 yards a game. If he keeps that up, he's got 8 games left. He'll get 944 yards, more yards, which will put him just over 2,000 on the year. I hope he can do it. I hope he does it by more than that. This kid is something special. Vikings, get ready to open up those checkbooks because he is worth everything. I don't think there's a check big enough to secure the service of this guy moving forward. So Justin Jefferson, over his 1,000 through 9 games. Can he get to 2,000 will be the question we'll all be watching here as the Vikings make their playoff push. Another underrated talker as the Vikings prepare for the Cowboys is that Greg Joseph still sucks. Yeah, he hit 2 field goals, but he misses that extra point that really, could have definitely killed the Vikings' hopes of winning this game. That is a 3-point to 4-point swing because he missed the extra point. So now the Vikings have to score a touchdown to take the lead. They can't tie it with the field goal if they get the ball back late against the Bills, driving down in the game to try to tie it with the field goal. That option's off the table because Greg Joseph can't do the most routine of things and hit his extra points. And luckily, again, for the Vikings, they somehow came up with the win in this one. And that's what's keeping Greg Joseph around in my mind is the Vikings are pulling out these games where he's putting us in some very bad spots. But the fact we're winning, they're not going to go ahead and make a move. But if I'm the Vikings, I'm looking who's out there. I think Rodrigo Blankenship's free. There's that Matthew Wright. I believe you can get him off a practice squad. I'd bring somebody in. Get him to a practice squad. Get him on the active roster. I don't care. Greg Joseph will cost this team a victory coming up, whether it's this week, the next week, whenever. His leg will cost this team, and I'm surprised nothing is being said about it. And I get why. We're all still in euphoria over this amazing victory over the Bills. But again, Greg Joseph, it's a problem, and a problem that's going to need to be addressed sooner than later. Another talker coming on the Bills game is that Christian Darrisaw, Caleb Evans, both in concussion protocol, both had to leave the game. You look at who came in. Blake Brandel actually played pretty well in place of Christian Darrisaw. Andrew Booth came in and struggled badly in place of Caleb Evans, who wasn't doing overly great himself, but the kid did force a fumble. That, again, those turnovers were huge for the Vikings getting back in this thing. So you really hope both of them can get out of that before the game on Sunday. It is an afternoon game, so maybe that helps. I'm not sure what the time frame is. But Christian Darrisaw, you lose him against this Dallas defense, this Dallas defensive line, against a guy like Micah Parsons. Blake Brandel played well, but that is a huge task to ask him to do. So I hope to God of if I had to pick one of these two to be back, it's definitely Christian Darrisaw, who's playing out of his mind. Go back and look at some of those highlights from the Bills game. He is just destroying people left and right. Darrisaw is something special. And the Vikings don't have him against this Dallas defense. It could be a very long growth day for the Vikings offense. So let's hope Darrisaw is back. Let's hope Caleb Evans is back too. We want to be full strength as we take on these Cowboys. And speaking of the Cowboys, that is the last talker. I don't understand this one bit. When the lines came out Sunday night, the Cowboys were favored by 3 over the Vikings on their own turf at Minnesota. How the hell is this the line? I think it's kind of gotten to, I think they're just +1 right now. I don't get this at all. Vikings are 8-1, finding ways to win. Yeah, it's not always pretty. Cowboys are 6-3, and they just lost against the Green Bay Packers, who are going nowhere, giving up a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. Whatever. I hope this is added motivation for the Vikings. I hope if they're sitting on their laurels, enjoying victory, this wakes them up and gets them angry. The fact that they're home underdogs against a team who has a worse record, it's got me scratching both my heads, and I'm starting to scab in both places. So that one I just don't get. So let me know if you guys have any other underrated talkers as we get ready for the Cowboys, as we get ready to go to 9-1 on the season. And until then, guys, keep your skull in your hole.